Barf! But it's unrelated to anything else. It's actually just because I just feel sick in general. That's just me. But I don't want to be restrained by it. Thank you for bringing a member for 3 months. Anime time. It is indeed time for the anime. Although we're not watching anything. We are not watching anything. We're just chit-chat. Turn my mic up. That might help because I am talking quieter. How is this volume level? It's loud still? Okay. We were not scammed. I didn't say we were watching anything. You got yourself convinced that we were gonna watch anime. When we're gonna watch something, I'll say it as there's a watch along. No, I've mostly just been rewatching Mariaholic again because the second season I totally forgot existed. Because usually wacky shit like this, like it depends if it gets a second season, but it did. It actually did. An ecchi watch along. I can do that. I can do that on Twitch, and they just they can't catch me. I think I've already watched Mariaholic on Twitch. Does Mariaholic mean someone's addicted to Marios? Kind of, yeah. That is really what the main character is going through. So, the beautiful, wonderful setup for the thumbnail of this video, Mariaholic, is a lesbian attends a Catholic school because she wants to be around all the pretty girls. However, the most beautiful of the girls, the one that is her perfect type in all sense of the word, turns out to be a boy. Not only that, but when boys touch her, she gets hives. So things are a bit wacky. It is a comedy anime, and it is produced by the same directors that did the anime for the Bakemonogatari series. So it is very clear when you're watching this, just as even though it's not Bakemonogatari, like when you just watch it, you can see. Because obviously, Monogatari, the anime, is very, it is famous for its directive style alone, as well. Not just the story. Sounds like conversion therapy with extra steps. Or maybe she just likes femboys. I haven't gotten far enough to know. So, finished all of it? No, that's fair. It is a big, long series, and it is complicated. And honestly, Monogatari fits right in with the rest of this, topic. True, there are dudes who like to dress up as women and nothing more, and that really is, that is actually Maria and what he really does envelop, because he is not a trans character. He is not, basically, he's doing it for there. He's basically I just know because I quickly looked on the Wikipedia, like a plot overview, and I just know that he is doing it because someone told him that he needs to become the president of both the girls and the boys' school. And so that is why he has infiltrated them, and he is dressing up as a girl. Not at all because he is like, you know, he wants to be a girl or he wants to creep on girls. If anything, the comedy of the series is that he finds the main character to just be very fun to fuck with. So, why did I need to check the wiki? Because I wanted to know. Because you don't find out that it's like a dare until like later. And I'm still like only like a couple episodes in. Because I'm also watching like 6 other animes, so it's kind of hard. How would that even work? Anime, that's how. Anime. And Marioholic really is just... It is not for everyone. Bakemonogatari is not for everyone. Many anime, I feel, that came out before 2010, 2015, about then, and just during that time period and before even, there is something different about them in just everything, literally everything. And unless you've been watching anime for a long time, and it's really hard to see and understand. And it isn't even, I'm not saying, oh, there's no strangeness in anime anymore, and there's no weird animes coming out either. That's false. That is not true. That's not what I'm saying. I miss when anime wasn't made for everyone. When anime was not a market. When an author did not have to cater, whether they like it or not, to overseas fans. When an author did not have to think about the fact that their work could be taken and misconstrued by people that do not even speak their language and shit on huge social media platforms for thousands of people for money. That is what I miss. Because anime used to be just something different. Even the weirder things now, like let's say, for example, the difference between Soul Eater, a very popular shonen anime back then, versus stuff that, you know, has come out now and has really broken the bubble. There's a big difference. And obviously I am talking about what's big and popular, and what's big and popular is always subject to change, and there's a lot of things just going on with culture in general. But I think something that the West has a problem with is really trying to direct anime with purity culture, and whether it's, I will not say it's fully destroyed everything, no, but it, you know, it does make things harder. I even noticed in the ecchi anime that I watch, like, it is way less raunchy than it used to be, truly, because I keep up with ones that are airing right now, and I'm watching this and I'm like, this is nothing. This is nothing. This is so different. JP creators do definitely operate mostly in their own bubbles, but you look at things like what's been happening to the Gachi Octa author, like, and a bunch of other creators that have just straight up deleted their Twitter accounts, and obviously Twitter and YouTube and stuff like that are big problems in all of this because of cancel culture and yada 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 and mistranslations and this and that and whatever the fuck. But yeah, I think it's just when you, because here's the thing, even if a Japanese author doesn't care about the opinion of anyone outside of Japan, their work has a much more likely chance of reaching those outside eyes and ears, especially now more than ever. So, true, while they may not care, that might affect their future, whether they like it or not. Let's say their work picks up, you know, they get really big and really famous, and all of a sudden, you know, they're getting calls all the time. Someone wants to do the anime, someone wants to do a live action, this and that. And what if things don't go how they want it to go? You know, what if things aren't adapted how they wanted it to be adapted? And it's because all of those people that are in charge of those bigger processes know that a lot of money doesn't just come from Japan. It comes from all over the world. So they're going to water down and try to change authors' works. And yes, Japan has been putting in a big leg into not letting this happen, but that just creates other barriers, you know? And again, like I said, it's not to say that there's nothing weird coming out of Japan. Weird shit still comes out all of the time, and it's wonderful, and it's amazing. But undeniably, the effect of the outside world and the fact that anime and things that come out of Japan have become such a big, like, ooh, I want this, ooh, this is cool, oh, you know, like, yeah, that has kind of started to muddle what I think was the wild soul of a lot of stuff. Because I don't know, a lot of mangaka also just, I mean, they still are, obviously, but a lot of more mangaka used to be faceless. A lot more mangaka used to totally hide the fact that they wrote manga, and they had a totally normal life, you know, because they couldn't make a living off of it. So they could truly write and do whatever the fuck they wanted, and it wouldn't come back to them. Not as likely as it is now if some super crazy fan wants to try to track their IP and find them and shit like that, you know? Like, obviously, I'm not saying that these are cases that happen all of the time, but I'm saying, like, this is what's possible now. And, you know, that in itself can definitely scare people. It's made a change. And I think it's amazing that anime has been able to reach more people. I think it's amazing what has been possible because of the fact that this is so popular. Like, truly, we would not have some of the things that we have that are wonderful. Like, pretty much all of Tatsuki Fujimoto's work. Like, if anime wasn't seen and wasn't loved so dearly, so much would not have happened. So I'm simultaneously very grateful, you know? It is because of the popularity of anime and the widespreadness of it and the fact that it is now a business that I am able to buy my figures, I'm able to buy merch, I'm able to go to conventions, I'm able to cosplay. So I'm happy, you know? But undeniably, I watch things now and I'm just like, there's something missing. It's great, it's good, but sometimes a lot of it falls short. There's always that one super great, amazing series that doesn't back down and is as weird as it wants to be. But it used to be like all of it, most of it. Like, you even think about something like Naruto, right? You think, oh, Naruto is pretty baseline, like so many people watch that. You could tell anyone to watch that nowadays and they'd like it, right? You're not really remembering Naruto, you know? Like, I'm sorry, Tanjiro, yeah, while they do the whole, like, cross-dressing episode, that's a one-time thing, and it's super played off for laughs, and he's not convincing. And yes, while Inosuke is, and that is the joke that he's a pretty boy with a pretty face, for the most part, it's covered up, and it's not really mentioned. It's played as a gag, really, truly as a gag, and it's not, like, vital or important to the plot, you know? Like, in the sense where it's like, it is because they're able to get in to where they're able to get it, and that's the only vital point, I should say. Whereas it feels like Naruto and his sexy jutsu, and, you know, the fact that Jiraiya was just a constant pervert all of the time, but still had heart. You know, like, Jiraiya wasn't just a comedy character. Like, I'm sorry, let's take a look at Mineta from My Hero Academia instead then, right? A super perv character played off only for laughs. It's vital to the plot, but only in the sense that, like, it's vital for that. It's vital for that. It is not something that Naruto learns that stupid fucking thing as a skill, and he legitimately utilizes it in funny ways sometimes. Obviously, it's supposed to be for jokes. I'm not saying that Naruto's sexy jutsu is vital to the plot and very important, but it's not a one-off. It's not. However, you know, other cross-dressing things or stuff like that, like, it is one-off. That's what I mean. Is like things that used to be weird gags but reoccurring and made quote-unquote normal are now instead played off truly like just kind of for gags. In a fight once, I think he used it more than once. He's used it even just in non-serious moments, but that's what I mean. Like, if part of Inosuke's character was getting away with things because he looked like a girl, that would be funnier to me personally. Instead, it's like, oh, there's the one part that they put in because they needed it for the plot. I guess I just don't like when it feels like everything has to be needed for the plot. Although that is technically my big problem with Demon Slayer in general. I have a lot of thoughts about Demon Slayer, and that might just be an inherent issue with Demon Slayer that I feel like Demon Slayer is, something that feels very much like it's just, which is probably the point, obviously, but it feels like things just happen around Tanjiro, and, like, he does some things, but he really just kind of is there, and shit happens around Tanjiro. It feels less like anything that he does, other than actually kill the big bad guy, like, does anything. I don't know. Because everyone else is going through things around Tanjiro. Again, it's probably also just my problem with Demon Slayer. Ranma, yes, Ranma is getting a remake, which I do enjoy. However, they've changed things even in that, alright? They have undeniably changed things in the Ranma remake. I have not seen the original, and I've mostly just watched, like, things, like, what are they called? Reviews, there we go. Like, kind of just general reviews of the difference, but yes, they tone stuff down. They do. Not even remade ecchi series have survived the anti-ecchification beam. You know? And when I go back to Soul Eater, right? I don't know. I tried to watch Fire Force. And Fire Force, again, just feels like the thing. Like, I don't know. How do I describe it? It feels like it's played off purely for slapstick comedy instead of being an actual part of the DNA of the series. Like, I like when series had a genuine kind of sussy edge. But it wasn't just for laughs. It wasn't random. It wasn't, like, yes, obviously some of it was random. But, like, I mean, like, for in the case of why I don't really even like Fire Force is just the girl, her clothes just always fly off for no reason. I don't care. That's pointless, meaningless, whatever to me. Like, at least a boob grab, like, develops a relationship, you know? It is slapstick, but, yeah, usually, but not anymore. That's what I mean. It's really trying to, like, step off of the break. I think you're misinterpreting what I'm saying. You're thinking that I'm saying that it's completely void now from anime. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it's gone. I'm saying it's worse. I'm saying it's not as good as it was before. Because it is a market now. That is what I am saying. You're talking back to me like I'm saying that there's nothing left. Like it's been picked bone dry. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying that edge, that perverted edge, just kind of has been taken off. And it is also because there are people that can get in to manga and for the money. And obviously, I do definitely feel like that is not going to be the case. Like if you're actually going to, it's such a competitive thing that there's like, not it, but it's just like with everything in art. Like when it becomes more of a market, there are going to be people that create works that they know will be popular for the sake of being popular, for the sake of getting money. The same reason Hollywood makes a lot of movies. Now, have we been experiencing that in anime? No. I don't think it's that bad yet. I don't think anime is that big yet. I think it's still weird enough. I think it's still strange enough to everyone. And it's still, you know, highly associated with weird people and nerdy people. Yada, yada, yada. But, like, I just think that there's definitely a little bit missing. And that's why I bring it back to Chainsaw Man. That's why Chainsaw Man took off. Because Chainsaw Man is not missing that edge. Tatsuki Fujimoto is not missing that. Tatsuki Fujimoto has really the soul of manga in him. Not to say that he's the god of manga, that's not what I mean, but he has the soul, because he's been doing it for a while, honestly, of those that are creating to explore themselves, to pull out the weird, strange things within them and make something amazing out of it. And I think that is what I love about anime. And what I love about a lot of older anime too is it really feels like more authors, instead of being like, I just want to make a cool story that's like, you know, kind of like Marvel and Lord of the Rings and all the Hollywood movies that I've seen before. I miss when it was, I want to make something so batshit fucking weird that doesn't make sense, but it's me. That's what I miss. I miss when things didn't feel so influenced by things that I already know, I guess, because that is also some of the effect of the globalization of anime and just the connection of the world in general, you know? People from the 2000s wouldn't have known so much about Western culture. I'm not saying that they wouldn't have been looking into it, but I'm saying, you know, maybe in the 1990s, 2000s in Japan cared more about Japan. Maybe they just didn't care so much about our media, and that's why it feels more like it's their media instead of kind of my media, you know? Fujimoto wants to troll his readers and getting popular was a side effect. I agree. Definitely. I mean, to some extent, if you had actually read any of Tatsuki Fujimoto's work before Chainsaw Man, you would have known that the ending was coming. Kind of in a sense. Yes, Hollywood back then was big around the world though. However, was the MCU around? Okay? You're missing what I'm saying. Every time I say something right now, you're saying, but, actually, okay, you need to relax. You need to think about what I'm saying. I'm not saying that it doesn't exist or it didn't happen. I'm saying not as much. That is what I am saying. Please don't make me clarify this again. I'm saying not as much. Not at all. Okay? Well, you're not arguing and you're not adding either though. You're just going, actually. I don't need, actually. I understand that Hollywood was big back then around the world, though. Yes, obviously. That, I don't understand, I'm sorry. I don't need added context. I don't need it. I know. Yeah, I mean, definitely. Reining in can make it less fun for the author. Jujutsu Kaisen manga want to do... Exactly. See, it's like changes for safeness, changes for... Oh, because I'm worried that it might not be as popular. Like, if Tatsuki Fujimoto really was worried about how people would react to his manga, he wouldn't have ended it the way that he ended it. You know? Wow, Akani! Hi, Connie! You're back! Hello! How is it going? How have you been? It's been about 24 hours since I saw you. But you're always welcome. We're just talking about anime and how it used to be quite a bit weirder in my opinion. Because people weren't so worried about the outside opinions of the world and everything, or just people in general, not even just outside of the West. Like, I'm saying just in Japan. Like, the interconnectivity of being able to harass your favorite author over Twitter DMs has kind of probably made it harder to be a mangaka. I'm not gonna lie, you know? It probably sucks getting pinged with hate mail, you know? Like... Most shonen series aren't worth getting into because the communities that infest it. Well, the problem with it is that it's not that shonen is inherently bad, it's that shonen is inherently hyper popular. And that means that a lot of people that don't watch anything else are going to be there. And they're going to shit on other stuff. And honestly, that, not to say this in a bad way, but that too is kind of like what made things shittier. Shonen getting hyper popular and the tropes of shonen, you know, that hyper popularity that stuff got, I think it just showed investors, you know, you play it a little safer. Like some of these big shonens that, you know, have some stuff but aren't as weird as some of the other stuff that we have. That's where the money's at. You know? Kinda got bullied because of that. I never finished Bleach. I never finished Naruto. I have never finished any long-running shonen other than Hunter x Hunter, Full Metal Alchemist. That's it. And I know, that's crazy to hear for me, like, gasp, Hemi, you're such an anime nerd. How could you have never watched all of Bleach and all of Naruto? You know why? You know why I don't really give a fuck about watching all of Naruto or all of Bleach or all of Fire Force or Fire Punch or whatever the fuck. No, Fire Punch is Tatsuki Fujimoto or Fire Force or all of those. Because they're the same fucking story. I'm sorry. I'm not looking for the same story beats. I'm not looking for the same tropes. I'm not looking for a story that is reskinned. It's the same reason why I don't give a fuck about Jujutsu Kaisen, because Jujutsu Kaisen is Naruto again. Jujutsu Kaisen is Naruto for the modern man. Okay? I'm sorry. Jujutsu Kaisen is Naruto for the less freaky motherfuckers. Simply put. Okay? And yes, Hunter x Hunter is still ongoing. But, like, I've watched all of the anime that has come out and read all of the manga for Hunter x Hunter. Is what I mean. Like, that's about it. Like, those are the only two that would be, like, shonen. And realize, there's a big fucking difference between Hunter x Hunter and Full Metal Alchemist. Then, you know, Bleach and Naruto. Nothing wrong with Bleach and Naruto. I've cosplayed from both. I like them. I like characters from them, and I like big parts of them. However, you know, I feel like watching as much as I get out of it until I'm bored, and then watching a whole, like, lore collection of the series video that takes an hour or two, so I just don't feel stupid, is fine by me. Because I would rather spend my time digging in and watching just meteor, stranger, fucking crazy shit, you know? Like, I didn't even watch all of Fairy Tail. I think I watched, like, over 100 episodes, though. I watched quite a lot of Fairy Tail. Didn't the anime get popular when Sword Art Online came out? I definitely think Sword Art Online had a big booming effect. And Sword Art Online was definitely like a stepping stone. I think like the undeniable stepping stones through the years, I mean just every yearly popular anime has brought anime a step higher in notoriety, right? But I mean like, yeah, Sword Art Online was like the big thing that really brought it out. And it's because, you know, people can really like get behind that kind of stuff. Not, like, I there's a reason Sword Art Online was as popular as it was. Even though there's other stuff about it that's kind of... Nothing wrong with watching what you enjoy if it isn't something you still enjoy. Yeah. If an anime can keep me around for 100 plus episodes, that's a really good fucking anime, you know? And so far, the only, truly the only few anime that I can say are really fucking good that have kept me around for hundreds of episodes and several seasons have been Fullmetal Alchemist, Hunter x Hunter, March Comes In Like a Lion. Those are the longest ones that I've technically watched. Because March Comes In Like a Lion has 4 seasons. I think it has like 60-something episodes. Let me look. It's 3 seasons. And lo and behold, it's a 2007 manga. So basically all the stuff that I... Like, yeah, so it's... Wait, it's only 2 seasons with 22 episodes? Fuck. That felt so much longer trying to get through this anime. So I guess it's really not as long as I thought. No, I've watched plenty of 2-season anime. Technically then, To Your Eternity is much longer because it has like 4 seasons. But anyways, no, like, so, like, I've undeniably watched anime that have run for several seasons. Bleach couldn't keep me around. Naruto couldn't keep me around. Those sorts of things couldn't keep me around. And the reason why is because it was just, I don't really care about the guy that just keeps attaining more power. Like, like, that's just always the goal. Get a new form, beat the new bad guy. Because Shonen, at its conception, was a battle of the weak. Yes, they had stories and stuff, but Shonen at its conception was a battle of the weak where epic art, fighting art could be shown off. Not that that's a bad thing, but that is where Shonen came from. So you have to really remember that. Yeah, it's amazing that we get these shonens, like Chainsaw Man, for example. Chainsaw Man is undeniably a shonen, even though, it's a seinen, but Chainsaw Man has a lot of shonen tropes, but it simultaneously denies a lot of shonen tropes, so it's difficult to call it a shonen. Though it is. And really what makes the difference between a shonen and a seinen or a shoujo or this and that is really where it was originally produced. If it was put in Shonen Jump, it's a shonen. That kind of thing. But more or less, you can kind of just call it seinen is for adult people. Adult men, for the most part. Shonen is for young men, young boys. So that's why I say, yes, Chainsaw Man is, but it also starts to stray more into the seinen part of things. It starts to get much more mature than a lot of shonen is going to get. Even if it's not in the typical dark way. Chainsaw Man is still dark, don't get me wrong, but it isn't as dark as everyone's being murdered. People are still murdered. Many people are murdered. But I still think Chainsaw Man undeniably... It isn't all darkness. It has the shonen shine of heroism and hope, even though that hope is steeped in darkness, still, it still carries the shonen torch, so to say. Thank you guys for following on Twitch. Thank you, Omo and Blade. Thank you. Do I know the band Sabaton? I do not. I feel like people relate being dark and being adult, and oftentimes relate being dark to being adult, and oftentimes is not the case. Exactly. 100%. Dark is not the same as being adult. It's not. Maturity and darkness are not the same thing. Gore and all of that, like that kind of thing, like gore, disgusting darkness like that, like horror, it's not the same as being mature or being adult. It's not. You're correct. The Swedish power metal band that makes songs about war and history. Nice. I like power metal. Ugh, my tummy kind of hard. Blech. It's like, yeah. And so, I think that when it comes to Chainsaw Man is a great representation of what happens when an author goes, I don't really fucking care if people will burn my manga at the end of its run. I do not care if people will curse me. You know? Ah! Thank you so much for the super chat! Hi, Gert. Thank you so much. Good to see you again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you're doing well. Why did my phone just buzz, actually? My phone buzzed at the same time. I think it was like a coincidence. Yeah, it was a coincidence. To my mom. It's medication information. Need to get my medication so I'm not a crazy bitch. Even though I am anyways. Okay. I'll have to go and check it. I hate how they can't just... I really hate this. This is a side note of modernization, why I dislike it, right? I fucking called and I left my fucking phone number and they sent me it through a stupid fucking patient portal. I fucking hate patient portals! Ugh! I don't even know if I can get to this because it's sent to her email, but it's mine. And now I can't even find it because it's all stupid. I don't even know. I don't even know. And of course my mom, instead of forwarding me the email, sends me a screenshot of it. Because I can do fucking anything with that. Thanks. Boomer. Boomer. What's a patient portal? Yeah. A patient portal is what doctors do and providers do now so they can blame AI and they can blame the internet on everything. Instead of it being their fucking fault that they didn't get your medication in. Instead of it being their fucking fault, they can go, the system must have fucked it up. The system must have not have put it in forward. I didn't get an alert for that to be done. I'm sorry that I didn't do it even though you called me and told it to be done. I put it in the system. It was supposed to get sent to the next person so they would do it. Just fucking call the guy! I want my meds! I'm fine. I just hate jumping through hoops. It pisses me off so fast. I'm legitimately too crazy right now to be forced to jump through fucking hoops. Okay. My mom sent me it, so now I should be able to click on it and view it. Can I? Oh, thanks! Let's see if actually I can get into it or not. Because I'd love to see if they actually did it. My email and password is incorrect. Fuck! What if I don't remember? What if I can't get in? I mean, I'm sure I can get in eventually. There is also an email reset, but Okay, I know I have to do forgot password. I'm gonna stress my rats out screaming like that. I can't do that. I'm gonna stress myself out. I'm gonna make myself throw up. I can't be that stressed. I gotta relax. The quest was submitted. Okay, so are you gonna send me anything or no? Please give me anything. Cause I did this last time and I didn't get nothing. She's probably gonna send it back to my mom. Because it's sent to her email in the first place, which means it's probably connected to her email. Which means it's not even my email, which means the records won't match, which means it's not gonna send me a password reset. So fucking what is it? What is it? I don't even know how to get into this. I just want my medication. I'm still on it. I'm on it right now. I'm not just... Is it her email? Because that's fucking dumb. And not right. And shouldn't be like that. Like, could you not just call me? Could you really not just call me? Okay, I'm in. Let's see if they actually did fucking anything. Because apparently they sent me a message. Viewing. Okay, is it this one? Please call the office to schedule a follow-up appointment for medication refill. So not only did you not fucking listen to the message that I sent you, you sent me back this stupid fucking message telling me to call. I fucking hate this. Put my phone down. I'm gonna take a deep breath. I'm sorry. Sorry, Cinnamon. Cinnamon is drinking hella water right now. He's like, you woke me up? How could you do this? Yeah, I got a portal ping sent to my mom's email to tell me to call them to make a fucking appointment. The appointment that I can't do and I can't make for the meds that I need now as emergency meds because I'm not fucking in Las Vegas. So not only did they not listen to my fucking message, they sent me to... By the way, when I called earlier, and it was put in a 30-minute queue. And then, when I got to Lady, she sent me into another queue. And then I waited. And then I didn't get answered by my medication manager. So I left a message telling them exactly what I needed and what I wanted. Now they're telling me to call and set an appointment. An appointment for what? The emergency meds I need? I don't think I can make an appointment for that. I think it's pretty clear what I need. What I asked for. Wouldn't things work so wonderfully if we just got what we asked for when we asked for them, if it was possible? And this is why I need really good anime back. Because I feel fucking crazy. And so I need to spend my time doing something else. And this is why I watch older anime again and again and again and again. I don't care. Because an older anime watched 5 times will always be better than Boo 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 Gaigen. I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry. Jujutsu Kaisen legitimately is actually one of the biggest disappointments to me as an anime. Let's just get back into the conversation at hand. Because it is literally Naruto, but for the modern man. It's not fair. It's it's not even that good. It really isn't. I'm sorry. I'm sure it's fine in some ways, but it's really not that good. Really not that good. Like, there's some interesting stuff. I think Gojo is an interesting character because if he wasn't fighting curses, he would definitely be killing people. But yeah, overhype. Jujutsu Kaisen is legitimately a true case of overhype. And it's because, well, Naruto was really popular for a reason. So Jujutsu Kaisen was just right there at the right time where the 12-year-olds was like, I don't know what the fuck Naruto is, but I do know what Boo Boo Baigen is. You know? I'm sorry. I won't go in too far. I can say a lot about it. Okay? Like, not even just the fact that Gojo just looks like Kakashi. You know? Like, I know that's such a nitpick. But like, I'm sorry. The characters literally don't even look that different. Nobara looks like Sakura. Okay? Fujito, or whatever the fuck his name is. I don't even know his name. I don't even know his fucking name. He looks like Sasuke. And yes. Well, Yuji Itadori has pink hair. The author is colorblind. And sometimes makes him blondie pink anyways. He was always supposed to be blonde-ish pink. So he looks like Naruto! He has the same spiky hair. And little marks on his face. Okay? He has a high collar. He looks like Naruto. Nobara looks like Sakura. Okay? And the other guy looks like Sasuke, but with fluffier hair and less daddy issues, but still quite a lot. And there's nothing wrong with inspiration and flattery and love for the classics, but Jujutsu Kaisen is nothing new. It is not revolutionary in any sense of the word. Chainsaw Man would be more revolutionary. And it still falls into, as I said, the same shonen traps and tropes and holes. But it does a much better job dodging them. Exactly. And that, Shala, you just said really what it is. There's a difference between taking inspiration and following the safe path. There's a difference between actually creating something and making things that you know will work. And I don't, like it feels like every fantasy world that Western media puts out, for example, is in some way trying to emulate what's been done before. Like the famous The Classics, right? Nothing bad with that, but it still feels like that. Japanese anime for a long time felt like it was not doing that. Now anime in itself feels like it is also emulating itself, which is not bad, but it's making so many things feel samey. Like the world of Soul Eater is so different compared to so many types of worlds and things out there. And even the world of Hunter x Hunter isn't even that. Even though I love Hunter x Hunter, even that, like with the power system and all of that, I think, not that Nen or the idea of chi and all of that isn't anything new. There's many series that have used those types of power systems and whatnot. But it used to be a little bit more fresh. Now it's just overused. You know? Yeah, unless you dig into the more niche stuff. And the more niche stuff doesn't get a lot of support. Because now, well, anime is a market. And if you want to see figures and you want to see another season and you want to see, you know, your voice actors and the studio thrive and actually create quality things, One Punch Man. It isn't about, you know, just showing up and loving it now. Spending capital and appealing to investors. It is the Ouroboros of culture, yeah. Corporate interest is the killer of passion. Corporate interest is the killer of true ingenuity. I miss when anime wasn't for everyone. When undeniably, when you looked at a show, you just went, I can't fucking show this to anyone. But God, do I love it. Cause no, I don't even think, I think you could not show Soul Eater to someone who was new to anime. I think they would be taken aback by quite a few things. I think if they really liked anime and wanted to get into anime, genuinely they would think it's cool. But I'm talking about the people that, there really are people that have just watched an anime or two and are like, yeah, I guess it's cool. I don't really care though. Like, there's a difference between people that have seen a Marvel movie and the people that have seen all of the MCU films and have read the comics. There is a difference. They might not hate the Marvel movie, but they might not care for the older stuff. Truly, someone who's unfortunately watched something now might think Iron Man 1 is slow and boring. And that's unfortunate. You know? They think Tony Stark isn't as smart as he as in the recent movies. He took so much time just to figure one thing out. I thought he was a genius. You know, like, it's a little different as time goes on. I think the artistry, while still very much there, because undeniably, I've said undeniably a lot. Like, you can't take out the perfectionism. You can't take out the wanting to spend more time than is needed. You can't take out the mistakes and the roughness. You can't take out the one idea that one guy said would work and everyone went, I don't know, but they did it anyways because they really liked that fucking guy. You know? Like, it's why I fear sometimes for Yoko Taro's games. Because it's been 10 years since Nier Automata. And I worry that with time, his games will continue to be watered down. Because, well, if you look at the difference between his earlier works and now, I also think Yoko Taro has been perhaps a little pulled around by the corporate leash. Not to say that Tubi doesn't have a wonderful booty, you know? But it's different. Many of things are different. And it is because corporations want the least money spent. They want a schedule. They want consistency. They don't want an artist to perform artistically, which a lot of the time isn't very, you know, clean and simple and easy and marketable and packageable, you know? And so, it's amazing how far anime and manga and everything has come. But I really, again, I miss deeply when it wasn't for everyone. When, if I went out on the street, people would ask me, what the fuck are you doing? It's not Halloween. Even though if it might have been embarrassing. Even though I used to get tortured and my wigs ripped off by people that were just cruel in school. I would take that over people with loud, obnoxious voices that barely actually even care about the art and only care about the product and the output and how it makes people perceive them. I hate it. It's the reason why fucking, what's his face? Jake Paul or whoever, Logan Paul or the fuck, he bought like some really expensive One Piece shit. You don't fucking know about One Piece. It's a status symbol now because you can get clicks, because you can get likes, because you can get people talking and fighting, just getting people generating. Because people will use anything to generate more capital, more content, more this and more that. Like, that is what has ruined it. Not that anime itself has changed or the soul of it has been dug out. I don't believe that at all. I just believe that the pipes and ladders that it has to crawl through and climb have just been bent and bashed in so many ways that it makes the output that comes on the other end just not what it was truly originally intended to be. What it would have been if you just let all of the creativity flow and climb to the greatest heights it could possibly be. And, you know, silly cross-dressing animes about lesbians are definitely way less for everyone than even the weirdest of animes. You know, I'm not saying you have to have cross-dressers in every anime, or boob grabs, or titty face plants, or skirt flips, you know? I think that there is good parts of getting rid of some of the more questionable parts of anime sometimes too. I, for example, I'm not very big on little sister stuff, as you guys know. I do like that there are genuinely less lolicons in anime now. I do like that there is less, you know, creepy behavior like that. That I do appreciate, because as a woman, it makes me uncomfortable. I can't speak for, you know, the men who even they know, oh, this isn't something that I actually do, but it's hot in a story. You know, I'm a monster fucker. I can understand that there are things that you wouldn't actually do that you think are attractive in a fantasy setting. Like, you know, like, no, you're not attracted to kids, but you think that the 100-year-old elf, you know, looks cute. I'm not gonna judge you just because she looks 16. You know, like, I'm not gonna think there's something horribly wrong with you, like some people do nowadays, which is just another fucking annoying part about people and people that dislike anime strongly, that they try to pull big culture war conversations, just horrible finger waving at people that go into that type of media without even really understanding the true behindness of that in general, and how a lot of, you know, not to defend, because again, as I said, I have my own feelings on lolicon and that sort of stuff, but it if you don't understand moe culture, you know, and how there's the idea in a lot of Asian households to only have one child, not to have a lot of children, that kind of stuff. I know that that's not like as big of a rule in Japan. I don't even think it is like a rule, but it's not as common sometimes to have siblings in Japan. It's more common to be an only child in Japan. And so you have to remember, when you think about lolicon and little sister stuff, it is truly, it is somewhere in that sense of wishing and wanting of not having an actual little sister. Not to say that any or some of it is okay in my personal opinion, because there's lots of it that makes me uncomfortable, and there's also plenty of stuff that's just fine. You know? It really just depends who you are, how you feel, what you're making, what you're watching. You know? There is, just as much as there is anime that isn't for everyone, there is an anime for everyone. And that is also one of the most amazing parts of anime, in my opinion. That there is an anime for everyone. Anime is so diverse, anime is so strange, that it can tickle these parts of your soul that you didn't even expect. That it makes you go, wow, maybe I do feel this way. Or maybe I you know, I wonder about these things too. Like, in light of the most recent Persona 4 revival that's coming, I have become scared of what modern culture is going to do to Naoto and Kanji. Because when I was young, and I was 12 years old, and I didn't really understand how I felt, seeing Naoto and learning about Naoto and having a friendly relationship with Naoto in Persona 4 Golden was amazing. It taught me so much about myself. It helped me think and feel and realize even if you feel certain ways, it also isn't the other box that people try to put you in. Because, for example, I'm not trans. And neither is Naoto as a character. Naoto exists in a very particular space of LGBTQ themes, where she's not quite a tomboy, you know, not exactly that. Her masculinity, while it is a choice, it is not. It is a direct reflection of her trauma. It is a part of herself that she doesn't want to face, her femininity. And that is what made me fall in love with Naoto. And also with Kanji, and the fact that he was able to accept that he might not be the cookie cutter masculine man that everyone needs or wants, but there will be someone, there will be friends out there that will accept him. There will be someone who will love him for that as well. And that I just think is amazing. And so I'm afraid that will be taken away in Persona 4. You need to read this well, and you need to play it. It's Persona 4. In Persona 4, the characters in Persona 4 are, personally, look, I think a lot of the Persona characters are very interesting, but I think the most interesting characters, in my opinion, are in Persona 4. And yeah, it's that too. It's the idea that this game is going to be a product for, you know, $70, $80 or whatever, and that there's going to be investors, and it'll drive up stock, and it'll keep them in business another year, or it'll blah 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 this, or it'll keep, you know, or it'll keep their animators and everything fed, even though they should be paying them way more. All that kind of stuff. Instead of it just being a true labor of love. This game, Persona 4 Revival, I don't know if it's called something else. I think Persona 3 Revival is what they call Persona 3. Persona 4, what is it? I don't know. But the point is that this doesn't feel like it's a labor of love. It feels like they already started remaking the game, so they might as well do it now. You know? And I'm genuinely afraid that they're just gonna sand so many characters down to not have the Twitter mob come after them, or to not have investors get upset because there's woke characters and woke themes and whatnot. Not to say, again, that Persona or Japan in general has ever cared, because Persona keeps on doing so much. But there's a difference when you look at the older Persona games versus the stuff that they've put out more recently. It's not the same. It's more approachable. You know? And yeah, sometimes the artists behind the product do manage to pull through and make something worthwhile. But it really, really is just so difficult and so tedious, and these people are trying to live all the same, you know? If, to them, getting their hard work out there and their love and passion out there is just a change away, a lot of people will make that change. And it might not be that big of a deal. It might really mean nothing at the end of the day. It might have been something so small, it wouldn't have made the series that much greater to begin with. But it could have made it that much more special and unique and silly and loved for a reason all different than just being good. You know? So yeah, as I said, it's not like anime sucks now. It's not like anime is not weird anymore. It's not like anime is totally fallen to the corporate wayside. But I do think that it's missing just a little something. And my genuine hope, especially because yeah, I pay a little bit of attention to what's going on with the prime ministers and the ladies that she has appointed. I'm interested to see just how hard Japan will push back, because they definitely already have been, and I don't think they'll give up anytime soon. So I really hope that the next big thing to come out of Japan will make me feel like Soul Eater made me feel. Will make me feel like Fullmetal Alchemist made me feel. That it will make me feel like I could just never leave that world. I could never leave those characters. That when the final episode is over, there is a hole in my heart and all I want to do is cry. Because I know that they're happy and I know they're not real and I know that their time is done, but I still exist on without them in the real world. And yeah, you might find that to be really silly, but that is how anime makes me feel. I was always so enraptured and in love with the things that I was reading and watching that it would leave me so hollow for it to be over. And now I'm just kind of like, on to the next one. You know? Not the same. It's just not. I'm gonna take a quick break. I need to go to the bathroom real quick, but we will be right back to keep talking a little bit. Alright? BRB. I'm back. I also feel better than when I started, but still kind of, I'll tell you guys the truth. I'll tell you guys why. All right, because you guys know I'm not good at hiding the truth. I have not been smoking as much weed lately. Not out of choice. Not by choice. I have some, so don't worry. I'm not dying. But, my main problem is that I have a lot of stomach acid issues, and the medicine that I take does not make that any better. And so obviously you can feel however you want about smoking marijuana, but for me, it helps me so I don't vomit all the time. It helps me so I am not anxious and in pain all of the time. And I'm okay for the most part, but when you just kind of change your intake all of a sudden, your body kind of goes, and my body right now is going, we usually have more than this. Why not more? So my threshold has kind of been lowered, and so my, like, it's not my stomach, it is the part where, like, my esophagus, it's the part where my esophagus and my stomach meet. I already have issues with that, and yes, I know that, smoking can irritate that. That is heavy smoking, and is mostly also attributed, to, like, nicotine smoking because of the tar and stuff. Not to say that it is not simultaneously harming me, but here's the thing, it's like, I either am completely, like, keeling over and feeling sick all of the time because I have nothing, or I am slightly sick all of the time. And, you know, like, I'm, in the meantime, just kind of irritating it a little bit at the same time. But it's already extremely, like, messed up to begin with. So it's, you know, I pick my poison. Ulcer from stress? I don't think I have one of those. I really need to go into the doctor. I just have, as you guys know, many things to switch over. And so I can't really go to a doctor right now. So I'm kind of just keeping afloat and self-medicating. My roommates have been trying very hard to get me to eat so that I'm also not sick from that. But what I spent a while just through my own eating disorders, starving my body. And so the way that my body now absorbs nutrients and, like, gets hungry or gets full, basically anything and everything associated with the process of eating and my energy levels and, like, a lot of the pains in my abdomen, they're just kind of all out of whack. They're all out of sorts right now. And it's been getting better, but simultaneously, as you get better, you kind of get worse. And the reason why is because, well, your body gets adjusted to something, and then you're trying to readjust it. And your body goes, I thought we were doing the other thing. And so my body has just been used to, for so long, like, you know, doing certain things to work, that now it is having to do other things to work, and it's not happy. But I'm living through it. I'm every time I feel too sick, I go in my chicken coop and I feel bad. I look at my rooster and I ask him if he's gonna crow, or maybe I'll be lucky, and for whatever reason I'll just have the silentest rooster in the world. It'd be lovely if my rooster never decided to crow. I know that that is an inescapable thing, but yeah. Marijuana is shown to really help people. May I do it, but I believe it should be legalized. Yeah, I think right about now, you're feeling mentally ill. Okay? Like, it'd be way better for you to try weed than, like, anything else. Don't start crack. Your doctor might be talking to you about some ketamine treatments recently. Fuck that. Don't take ketamine. Don't do that. That's crazy. Never thought of it that. Thought of that as pretty much physical dependence. Yes. In the sense of that, I am physically dependent on marijuana, and that I do not deny in any sense of the word. I do get mad at people if they say I'm addicted, because I am not addicted. Addicts, because there are people that are addicted to marijuana. There are people that are addicted to all kinds of drugs. You can be addicted to anything, literally anything. There are people that were addicted to eating bricks, okay? However, when it comes to marijuana, you know, if you are so high that you cannot work, or you choose to smoke instead of hang out with your friends, or you spend literally all of your money and you cannot prioritize no matter what, and you literally are homeless but still go into the dispensary and buying $100 weed to smoke, okay? That is when you are addicted. I am not addicted. I only really smoke when I start to feel sick or when I start to feel stressed. And yeah, it's not the bestest of coping mechanisms in the whole world, but it's a lot better than what I could be doing. You know, my dad was an alcoholic. I know what an addict is. I know someone who destroys their life over a substance, who is unable to escape it, who is unable to handle themselves, and only blames something else and everything else. You know, I know what that is so very plainly that if I ever even suspected myself of falling into a very dangerous territory, I would put myself in a clinic. I would not let that. If I ever felt that I was truly becoming an alcoholic, I would be afraid. I'd be very afraid. And yes, it is an eating disorder. It is an eating disorder. But it is not a mental eating disorder. It is not an eating disorder as far as I look at myself in the mirror and I go, you fat, stop eating. You know, that's not what I do. My eating disorder is somewhat psychosomatic. I don't know if that's the right word, but it is somewhat in my head as far as it is triggered by my ADHD and my autism. I have texture issues. Because of ADHD, as many with ADHD people, you'll see they forget to eat, or they will forget where they were in the middle of eating, that kind of thing. I do that a lot. So to simultaneously, the effects of my autism and my ADHD making it harder for me to eat. And then, about 3 years ago, I tried to change my diet, all right? And what happened was, instead of being a smart person and actually slowly adjusting my diet, I just started eating completely different. Don't do that. Don't ever do that. If you are someone that eats junk food every day and you're trying to be healthy, do not immediately switch to healthy food. You'll kill yourself. How do I know? I almost did. Okay? True story. The funny story that I tell you guys about all the time where I had a stuck fart? Yeah. Well, there's a scary start to that. And that is the reason why I had that teehee stuck fart, okay? That was because I had acute pancreatitis. And that was caused by changing my eating habits. I changed my eating habits very quickly, and my body was not able to keep up with it because when you have autism, there's already a lot of gut issues that autistic people experience. You can look that up. There is lots of research into that and how autistic people just already, again, have gut issues. But so I was already starting out with gut issues, and then I was trying to change it, so my body exploded, and I wound up going to the hospital because I just had so much like gas and bloating and other problems in my system because it just wasn't right. And that pain that I experienced, it really like scared me and my body. I was so afraid of eating the wrong thing, eating too much, or just like, because also eating too, like I was trying to eat more as well, because I was eating less, not as much anyways. So I was trying to eat more and I was eating different. So I got simultaneously scared of both of those things, and then my body just kind of collapsed on itself. And so now I am in an uptick game. I'm in an uptake game with my own body. I'm constantly racing my own system to try to keep it fed enough, try to keep it stable enough with the enzymes that it's producing and the acid that it's producing that's already in flux because of my antidepressants, which I can't really do much about unless I want to go and change my meds or take other ones, which could, again, affect my meds. If you start taking other meds to help other problems, your other meds come into question. So, I'm basically, it's an uphill battle with myself, where I fell down into a very bad place. So I don't have an eating disorder as far as I don't want to eat and I don't want to get better. It is my body is the actual process that it what is the word? Oh goodness, I lost it. My digestive system. There we go. My digestive system is all out of whack. And so, instead of taking painkillers or muscle relaxers or things that help me with my nausea but give me severe constipation, which I've tried, I smoke weed. You know? And it works. And a lot of it is also stress. And as my stress goes down, I have slowly been able to feel better, eat more, etc. Because stress in general just can whip acidic stomachs up into a flux. I'm sure some of you guys have already experienced when I've had to leave a conversation, and I tell you guys, I'm sorry, my stomach hurts right now, I'm getting too stressed, like I need to go. That's why. I'm literally that sensitive that if I start to get nervous and upset, I will become so nauseous because the stomach acid in my body is already so out of whack that it just doubles down and kills itself. So that is like the physical of what I am experiencing, and then mentally, I am getting out of a situation that has given me CPTSD and BPD and other myriads of things. BPD being borderline personality disorder. If you don't know what that is. And that's basically just because, as I kind of mentioned a little bit yesterday, and I'll say again, just everyone in my life when I was growing up just invalidated my feelings and my experiences and made me feel crazy. And so I am crazy now because I was treated crazy all my life. And so my brain, unfortunately, has become what they made it be, what they told it was. I was told I was crazy. I was told there were things wrong with me. So now I am crazy and there are things wrong with me. Because now when people tell me, no, you're not really actually that bad, you're not really that crazy, I go, you, huh? What? And everything falls apart. You know? Because if your entire worldview of yourself, obviously, is what your parents say and what people around you say, and then suddenly you break out into the real world where you can choose where you want to put yourself and who you want to be around, actually, and all those people are telling you the opposite of what anyone has ever told you your entire life, you, again, still kind of feel a little bit crazy. Because you love to believe them, but that's not what everyone else told you. And your own actions cause so much strife for your life, and people told you, well, it's because you're crazy, because you do this, because you do that. And well, now I know I was never crazy. There was never anything wrong with me. I was behaving that way and I was acting out that way because my parents were screaming at each other every night, and my dad punched holes through doors and was an awful alcoholic that lived in a fucking shed in my backyard because he was not allowed to come into the house. My dad was a dog, and that's not normal. And I did not realize that was normal. Not normal. For a long time. I knew it was not normal as far as, well, other kids' dads don't live outside and aren't allowed to come in except when they use the bathroom. But it made sense to me because my dad was bad. And so he had to stay outside. Like a dog. But he was still there for me. And my mom wasn't that cruel because she didn't kick him out. Lo and behold, I might have been better all along if my mom got rid of my dad when I was 2 years old. you know, the second he started drinking and being a dick. You know? I've come out of all this now knowing that the place that I was and the things that I was feeling, the situation that I was in, was fucking weird and wrong. And the way that my family treats each other and they treat my mom and they treat me is weird and wrong. And so I feel a little crazy. I'm trying real hard to not be crazy, because for every crazy, unmedicated bitch out there, okay, you guys have to remember that there's a crazy, unmedicated bitch that's really trying hard to not be one. Because sometimes we don't realize what our problems are until we're out of the situation. And I'm sure that I've hurt people along the way, and I'm sure I've done things that I'll never understand were truly wrong. But at least I try. Because I'll never say that I'm normal, or that I'm good, or that I'm perfect, or that I'm, you know, this or that. I will forever be broken and weird and annoying. But these are the parts that I really do enjoy about myself. And these are the parts that people really tried hard to make me hate. And so, you know, with every week and every day and every month and every year that passes, I'll slowly pray and hope that the 23 years that I spent believing that I was fucking crazy will be a distant memory to me. And I will learn that I've always been just a person, just as normal as everyone else, because everyone is strange. Everyone does things that don't make sense. Everyone cries. Everyone's allowed to be hurt. Everyone's allowed to hate. Everyone's allowed to scream and destroy when they are being abused. Everyone is allowed to feel the things that they feel. Every feeling is valid. It is what you do with that and what you put out into the universe that really makes or breaks your point and your being. You know? The choice to be crazy. The choice to listen to your brain and to think about what could have led it to these conclusions. And not everyone is capable of that, truly. Okay? You also can't be too hard on people, because some people really are not capable of it. They aren't. It isn't easy. Some people can be taught as well, but there are just as many people that truly will never be able to think about themselves and another person and what everyone and everything has gone through to realize that they can't be angry, that they can't be violent, that they can't do this or they can't do that. They'll just do what makes them feel good and deal with the consequences later. That is how most people operate, even if they don't mean to, because emotions are hard. And really, if anything, I think that is my only blessing, is that I've always known that my emotions are so volatile and so much more than everyone else's, that I've kind of known from the start that I really have to get a handle on them. There was never a choice. In all of them, happy, sad, angry, every single emotion of mine, I feel to an extreme. And so all of it needs to be kept in check sometimes. Sometimes, not all the time. There's always a place for happiness that's contagious and silly and dumb and makes no sense, just as there is for rage for another, rage for yourself, anger that is so unbridled and dangerous that it will save your life or someone else's. You can't be told or taught that one is greater than the other, or one is not valued, or one is not proper. All have a place, all have a time, all have a meaning. It's just about what you do. Sorry to get all emotional on you guys, but anime makes me feel emotional. And if anything, funny enough, this is some of the lessons that anime in its own has taught me. There's a lot of anime that I've watched that where a character, and sometimes obviously it's not even the main character. A lot of the times it's the villain or someone that's an anti-hero and becomes a friend later along the way. The rival character, you know? There's a reason that I like those characters a lot more sometimes, and it's because they're not good off the bat. Sometimes they're fucking crazy. And really, it just takes someone going, wait, stop. Maybe you can be understood. Maybe you're not crazy. Maybe you're not wrong. Maybe there's something that you're really trying to say, but you don't know how to say it. Can you please say it to me? Can I please try to understand? And that's what we need more of. And anime says that so much, so wonderfully, so lovingly. And if anything, I think that is, in a sense, a symptom of the culture difference. In America, there really is a big belief in be free, be yourself. Even if, you know, not everyone everywhere is told to be free and be themselves, because we still have problems, lots of problems, that are crawling out of the woodworks right now, honestly, you know? But Japan as a culture is a lot more, don't focus on yourself, focus on the collective, focus on everyone else. Don't be special. Don't be free. Don't be yourself. And I think Japan has made a lot of strides to push away from that, and many other cultures as well. And people in general, I think, have become more accepting of others and the oddities. But again, anime just somehow wrote so many more love letters that I could understand and read and cherish about being yourself, no matter how fucked up you might be. In a sense, right back to Naruto. It's one of the best things it did, right? Naruto wasn't loved by everyone. He was never fucking wanted. But he had a dream to become Hokage, and he wasn't gonna let anyone or anything fucking stop him. Not the literal beast inside him that destroys anyone and everything, nor the people that doubt him because of that. Nothing stopped him. Nothing. And that is what makes the heart of so many of these series, truly. That's what speaks to me so often. Just unbridled freedom. What can I say? I'm American. I love freedom. Good nodders. Gotta drink some water after that. Great school presentation. I'm glad that you like it. I loved PowerPoints in class, honestly. I love it. I was the PowerPoint kid. A good PowerPoint really gets the gets it across. Yeah, I'll hydrate to that exactly. I do agree that that's kind of funny, is it's like Naruto, it's supposed to be it doesn't matter, but then it's like it kind of is important, you know? Yeah. And, I mean, yeah. You know, I see what, I understand what you mean, but it still really isn't, because he isn't like his father, and so I still think it definitely strays away from that decently. I think that that's an interesting criticism, and that person maybe doesn't know what they're talking about. Or they think they do. I mean, I think I know about a lot of shit that I'm talking about. So, you know, there's probably plenty of things in this that you guys have been like, that's wrong. That doesn't sound really how I feel. I think anime is just as weird as ever. I think there's nothing different. I think it's only gotten better. Well, good for you. I think if we look at One Punch Man and some of the animation, I would disagree. I think it has literally not gotten better. I think that literally only happened because of capitalism and, you know, people having stocks and wanting to get money, and I see literally that is the only reason that shit happened. Okay? Like, that is the reason stuff like that happens. Because there's a guy that wants money. Money. Started watching Naruto with a friend of mine, but one day they just started watching without me and I never touched it again. Oh man, nah. I feel that, but I don't feel that. Like, I understand how that can happen, but that's never happened to me. Because I wouldn't let it happen. Or I just don't have friends. No, I'm joking. I do have friends. I can't say that I don't. I do. Can't be that mentally ill. Studio Madhouse did Mob Psycho 100 with so much more fun artistic value than they did with OPM. Correct. Yeah. And it's because money. Because One Punch Man is much more popular than Mob Psycho. Look, Mob Psycho is not popular, but One Punch Man is much more popular than Mob Psycho. Just is. And you'd think it'd be funny, you'd feel like the more popular something is, the better it would be, but really seems like especially nowadays, it's just, no. You really don't want your shit to get popular. You really don't. But you really don't want your stuff to get investors. Because the second your stuff starts getting investors, then there's something to be invested in, and it's like, oh god. What do you mean? What are you investing? Stop investing in my ecchi. No, if only they would invest in ecchi. Not enough though. Not enough. Look, Gooners are the greatest, as far as this, cause look, okay, so you want something really funny? So I was talking to my roommate the other day, and she started collecting a few figures. Not my fault, it's my fault. But she was like, man, I'm glad that, like, you know, there's, like, so much more figures that we can get here in, like, the US and stuff. And I'm like, it's because of Gooners. And she's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, you can thank Gooners for that. Like, if Gooners didn't buy so many figures to goon on, or posters to goon on, or plushies to goon on, I mean, obviously there's regular fans, but if Gooners didn't goon, alright? Do you guys realize how much of the anime market would, like, just not exist if Gooners were not fucking obsessed with anime titties, alright? Like, speaking as a Gooner for anime titties, alright? Like, I feel very strongly about supporting my Gooner values properly. You know? Like, don't get it twisted. The Gooners have saved many things, alright? The Gooners saved Blue Archive, alright? The Gooners have done many good things. Also bad things, but many good things. Just normal anime fans, exactly. And that's genuinely the reason why, and I hate to say it like this, is because, say it with me everyone, anime wasn't for everyone. Because normal anime fans were Gooners. Because a lot of anime had Goonie shit in it. Okay? Because yes, Naruto was popular and Bleach was popular, but so was Fairy Tail. So was Ranma. You know, like, goon, we love to goon. That's just the truth. The truth of the matter. Well, honestly, that was a good call that I just heard. So I need to give my rats some medicine. It's just past their time where I need to give them their daily dose, and I just heard Pizza do a little sneeze. So I am going to get going for now. I will see how I am feeling tomorrow. Hopefully, I will be in a good mood to talk a little more, maybe play something. You guys know me. Right now, I'm really just trying to put myself on a path where it doesn't feel like I'm doing anything because I have to. Does that make sense? Like, I don't want to stream because I have to, because I feel like I have to. I don't like that feeling. And so that's why sometimes it's like I don't really like game playthroughs, because I feel bad, like I have to play the game instead of just doing something else. So, again, it's mostly a me thing, but I'm really just focusing on doing what I want, not what I feel like I have to. Even if simultaneously I feel like a piece of shit because I want to stream every day. But it's because I feel like I have to. And so I know I shouldn't. I shouldn't. So I'm just gonna do as my whims take me. I'll play you guys a couple more songs as we're closing out. I hope you guys will give them a listen, because every song that I ever play for you guys is one that I'm actively listening to or thinking about. I don't really like search through my playlist very much. I play you guys more recent stuff that I found and just what really feels like me. So if you want to think about how Hemi feels and the big spooky scary words are too much, a song always does nicely, in my opinion. I think songs speak pretty well for me. So thank you guys so much for joining me again. Thank you everyone that's come in. Hope I'll see you again soon. And for now, have a good time. Have a good night, day, time, existence. Yeah. See you on the flip side, as I always say. I really need to get like just a little button that'll make me do a little flip. Then I'll be happy.